Dylan, give us some Tom energy.
Are we doing regular Dogcast or Raw Dogs?
I said give some Tom energy. I immediately went to the volume slider. I'm like, Dylan's gonna blow this shit up.
Hey everyone! Welcome to another episode of Hair of the Dogcast. I'm here. My name is Dylan, your host with the most. Over to my right, I have
Jamie
Dog. Woo, 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 woo.
Jamie.
Across from me, I have my regular host.
Hi, I'm Brad. Everybody, I'm happy to be here.
Perfect. I love the energy we're bringing today. And then to my left, we have
Mr. Tyler Anthony Melly.
Tyler Anthony.
So formal.
Anthony. Yeah. Why?
So we can start calling you Tam?
Tam, yeah.
What's up, Tam?
Hey, this is Tammy on the Dogcast. How we doing?
Hi, Tammy.
Dude, I'm going to call you Tyler Tony from now on.
Tyler Tony. My dad's name is Tony.
Good.
Oh, perfect.
He has a big gabagoosh.
Gabagoosh. He has a big gabagoosh.
Sounds dirty. This is Hair of the Dogcast. We are a proud member of the HyperX Podcast Network.
Okay.
For more information, check out podcast.hyperx.com. Week 3 of Indie Games Month. I have been playing more games this month than I have played in a long time.
Yeah.
And I am loving it.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Now, Brad, you're supposed to be preparing for a
McDonald's.
wedding, right?
Well, I've said until I get the good ending in Hollow Knight, I can't plan the wedding anymore. So
And Carly was like, understood.
she's like,
got it.
all right,
I'll support you.
do what you got to do. But yeah, I'm at about 17 hours in there.
Damn.
Yeah. It's the Dogcast. We talk about video games and beer and video games. Drinking a lot of Enlightened beer right now and loving that.
It's pretty good beer.
Do you know anyone that works there?
Oh, few people.
Yeah.
One or two?
One or two, yeah.
How many hours are you working there these days?
It's went up.
Good.
Almost part-time hours now.
Almost part-time?
Almost part-time.
That's almost 10 hours a week, buddy.
It's hard work.
Congratulations.
Hard work.
Man.
Yeah, we've got a fly buzzing around the studio right
There's
now.
just one big fly. And
It's
very
big.
loud.
Like, it actually makes a very loud noise as it flies around.
get out of here.
Yeah,
Hey, fly!
I can hear him over us talking.
Which
That's
is
how loud
weird.
he's being.
Hopefully it doesn't pick up on mic. I don't know.
It won't pick up on Mike. It'll pick up on us and our annoyance levels, though. So
Is that him?
That's him.
That's the one. Kill it.
That's that son
Get
of
a
a
break.
bitch. You get him?
Come on, Miyagi.
Oh.
almost.
Swing and a miss.
Oh, boy.
He's up there now.
Daniel San, come on.
Okay.
Wow.
He's
Fuck
just
the fly.
He's just
That's
the
fine.
fifth host for this episode.
He's around, everybody. Yeah. Should we talk about news?
Yeah, we can talk about news. Started off with, did everybody see Red Dead Online had a funeral? The players organized and carried out a funeral over several days because the game is dead.
Basically dead
It's
on
DOA,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. So what makes it so dead? I know it's still active and running.
They just
lack of content. They just, it's almost like they refuse to put out new shit to do in the game.
They're too busy remastering Grand Theft Auto 4 and 3 and
Well, I guess
Being
Grand
massive
Theft Auto
failures.
4 remaster is off the table
that's
now.
right. That's right.
yeah.
though they fucked up so hard on the trilogy remaster, they're like, we're not doing anymore.
Let's
Well,
focus on
they hired
6.
they hired a mobile game company to remaster Vice City, San Andreas, and Grand Theft Auto 3. That's why it turned out so bad.
Wait, you're serious?
I'm not kidding. No, it's you can look it up. I can't remember what the company is called, but I do know that their basis is in the form of like a mobile games company. They basically they gave that to someone else to do.
How could that not work?
Yeah, like,
I wonder.
Candy Crush remastering GTA, it makes sense.
I own GTA Vice City and 3 as iOS apps. Right when I got my iPhone a long time ago, I'm like, yeah, I love these games.
Did you though?
And when I played it for like 5 minutes, I was like, oh.
No. Yeah.
That's your only reaction. Oh.
And then I deleted it because it was taking up space.
Yeah, they kind of let somebody else kind of take over and do that. That seems to be delegation seems to be the main form of remasters these days. Yeah. They let certain companies just do it, not even really based on credentials as much as it is who can produce this and how quickly can they do it.
And let's face it, remasters are a cash grab. I
Yes.
already have this game. Oh, it has 3 more pixels in the toenail.
I don't think it's.
Great.
necessarily a cash grab. Just 95% of the time, it's a cash grab. Remasters can be great. There are good remasters.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, it has the potential to be a slam dunk every time if you pick the right game. Like a game that's older that people loved that they'd like to see get refreshed. Like that's easy money.
Yeah.
The truth, I think the truth of the matter is people want updated gameplay and they want updated graphics.
Yeah.
And it can look a little bit like the original. It can keep some of that charm, but for the most part, I think people want it just to be modernized.
Yeah.
Because people have very like rose-tinted glasses about memories of this game. Like especially those 3 games in particular, they were the biggest things on the face of the planet for a while. So it's just like if you're going into that, you've really got to put some care into it because I dare a lot of people who play Grand Theft Auto 5 to play Vice City right now.
Vice City,
It's not going to play very well.
No.
and all their fingers are stuck together.
I know.
Yeah, how do they even fire a gun?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
They pull the trigger with all 4.
It's like Donald Duck not wearing pants, but he puts a shirt on and a towel around his waist when he comes out of the shower.
Like, what are we even doing here? Like, come on.
Stealing a
Donald,
car
I've
with
seen your
mittens.
cloaca.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Red Dead is dead, deemed dead by the players. I'm somebody who played it a lot online. Me and a couple of coworkers from Eagle Park had a posse called the Bodega Boys, and we raised hell and grinded our way towards some gold bars and money in the game. So for me, it's really sad because there's not a lot of Western games out there, like good cowboy games, especially with an online component. And you look at how successful Grand Theft Auto 5's online is. The potential was there. They just like it could have been so good, and they just abandoned it so early on too.
That is a good point. Like there are very few good Western games out there. Like very few, just Western games in general.
Yeah.
I remember trying Red Dead Online when I first got to a long time ago, and I saw the potential, but it's like, well, okay, I can ride around, but I've already beaten the game. There's no one here.
Yeah.
This is just like playing the campaign again, but yeah.
I'm gonna grind for weapons that I already owned in the main game that cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
And this comes from Rockstar actually making a blog post saying we are not making more content.
Yeah, they said they're going to maintain, but nothing new. No big changes are coming for...
Man, even Diablo 3 is still getting regular fucking updates.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It makes me wonder internally what they were seeing with their player base in comparison to Grand Theft Auto 5 online.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is just a fucking cash cow.
It's a behemoth.
Maybe it was costing too much money to feed all the horses.
I think I'm going to say
Nay?
probably. I'm probably going to say that I think they made a concerted effort to not split their player base. Because if you're playing one, you're not playing the other, and it's a product that that could actively compete with themselves.
Why don't they just merge the two and have GTA Red Dead Online, and all of a sudden, you're stealing a car and a cowboy rides by?
I mean, maybe
I'd play that.
They should have horses in Grand Theft Auto. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. They came close though, because when you create your character in Grand Theft Auto Online, you can pick John Marston as like your great grandfather for likeness. He's wearing a polo and he's like in an awkward family photo.
Oh, geez.
But yeah, so Red Dead's dead. That's a bummer. Moving on to better news.
I like that. I knew that was going to be your top story.
Well, yeah, because I'm super bummed about it.
There's people getting assassinated, but you're like, this Red Dead thing is bad.
We got to talk about this. I was so upset. I wanted to join in on the funeral, but I was like, I'm not downloading a 125 gigabyte game just to jump in, put on a black suit, and mourn.
For your what do you play it on?
I have the PS4 version, but
You got to get an external hard drive hooked up. You could just always have it ready to go. Well, at this point, though, you missed the funeral, so
yeah, it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
Just get a 4 terabyte.
I wonder how many people called off work said they had to go to a funeral.
Bereavement leave.
Yeah.
So that
My favorite game died.
I'm not a nerd.
What are you talking about?
Hey, when you have
I
a
can't
decent
come
enough job, you don't have to give excuses for why you're out of work. Yeah. Sometimes you can just call in. I've learned that.
So that made me really sad. So moving on to news that made me really happy. God of War Ragnarok got another trailer and a release date of November 9th. And holy shit, does that game look just chef's kiss. Just
I'm sure it's going to play great and look great. That's one game that I'm actually personally not excited about. I didn't like the last God of War. It was playing Horizon Zero Dawn with Kratos.
You've got some really
interesting
controversial
Got some hot
opinions
takes.
every once
You're
in a
like
while.
this Stephen A.
And it's
God of War
funny to me.
2018 is like Horizon Zero Dawn.
now I can't even say for sure because I didn't play all the way through the newer God of War. Even when I had a chance to, and I had every opportunity to do it, I just never got around to it.
Yeah.
But you're the only person I think has ever said that.
The story is the strong point of 2018 for me. Watching Kratos evolve, which was a stagnant character, to grow into something, push him into an area he's uncomfortable with instead of angry, has sex a lot, truck with the balls kind of guy. Now he is someone who is mature, and 2018 was one of my favorite games of the past few years. Yeah. I personally haven't watched the trailer for Ragnarok yet. At this point, I don't need to because I will play it, and I prefer to be surprised these days.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be a day one purchase for me, but I will definitely play the fuck out of this game.
It's going to be a day one purchase for me for sure.
I'm going to wait until it's on Xbox Series X.
Good luck.
I like how everyone paused and, is he fucking serious?
I smiled. I was like, I get it. I get what he's doing.
Yeah. So God of War coming out. I'm super psyched about that.
Do you think they're not going to push that back? I really think they're going to push it back.
I don't think
Every
so.
game is
No,
being pushed
I think
they've
waited a
delayed
while.
they've delayed enough,
Sure.
and they pushed back. I don't think they would have said anything unless they were pretty sure.
And they've had an opportunity now to drop a release date several times, especially with like the first trailer that they dropped and then the little bit of info we got after that. And they purposely did not say a date until now. So it makes me feel like this is a pretty set in stone date that they're comfortable reaching and releasing on.
Maybe game companies have finally realized they got to under-promise and over-deliver instead of, we're setting it back until 2024.
Well, that seems to be the theme lately.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of pushback, Forspoken, do you guys know anything about Forspoken?
I know a little bit about it. It's
Definitely heard of it before.
It
play as like
looks
a
beautiful. But
Yeah, you play as like a magician of sorts with like sorcery powers and shit.
More like Chris Angel or David Blaine. Because if there's a Chris Angel in this game, I'll play it.
David Copperfield.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. That's more, I think, the speed.
Is that the magician? Or is that the literary character?
No, I think that's a magician.
Yeah.
You play as a
It's both.
When you say you play as a magician, I don't know what you mean.
That was just one of the things I read about it. And now I never really watch trailers for games. Like, I kind of just judge off like the little bit of hype I'll get off of it, and then maybe a snippet of a trailer. But I like to be surprised, like you. That was another game I was looking forward to. That got pushed back for the second time now, and I just have a feeling this game is never coming out.
It looks interesting. They really didn't give much detail in the trailers that I've seen, and even the synopsis is pretty minimal. You're this woman with like magical powers, third person perspective. You have like fast travel ability through the sky, and
It's supposed to look real pretty. And I think the idea was it was supposed to be like a showcase game for like, hey, look how pretty our games can be on the PlayStation 5 and next gen consoles. And it's still not out yet.
Oh yeah, I remember this trailer, and I thought it looked like garbage.
it has something called Raymond tracing in it. Apparently it has something to do with lights. Everyone loves them.
The game design, the character design looks very boring to me. And
Can you show me a quick pic here?
like
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh,
this looks
my
way
God.
closer to God of War than Horizon Zero Dawn does to me.
Yeah, you call her a magician. Whenever I hear a magician,
more of a
I'd say
Mage.
sorceress, maybe.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I read that. What the fuck, Pickles?
Pickles is up, and Adam.
All right, well, Pickles just picked the next news topic.
Okay.
So Kojima was mistakenly misidentified as the
Mistakenly misidentified or just misidentified? Because those mean two different things.
My bad.
Yeah.
Kojima accidentally. I'm going to start over. Kojima was misidentified
Correct.
as the former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's assassin.
Shinzo Abe.
I'm so bad with Eastern names. Like, we know this now.
How do you fuck this up? Like what journalist thought, hey, we need a picture of someone? Him. Let's do it.
I don't know how that happens.
I read about it and I figured out how it happened. So apparently the Prime Minister looked like a villain in one of the Metal Gear games, and so people started making jokes about Kojima, and eventually,
which one? Wait,
Twitter. You know, that cesspool of a horrible social
no,
media.
I'm wondering which Metal Gear villain, because I don't.
Well, they started making memes and jokes that Kojima was actually the assassin, based off the Prime Minister's likeness to a Metal Gear character.
Oh boy.
Eventually, it was picked up by a far right French politician who posted the photo of Kojima with the caption that said "the extreme left kills."
Wow.
When then that was picked up by a Greek news station who actually ran the story saying it.
So it became a strand game of misinformation.
Yeah.
Well, it almost sounds like people like this should be held accountable for their horrible spread of misinformation.
That's not the world we live in. Yeah, that sucks for Kojima.
It doesn't. He didn't get punished or anything.
He's suing for libel and all that.
He's going to get it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I find it crazy that like in the whole like clusterfuck of this news, the whole clusterfuck of this Kojima thing, that like it's just kind of glossed over that the Japanese prime minister was assassinated.
He was supposed to be
former.
Yeah.
but
yes.
he was from what I've read and heard, a very good prime minister. Did a lot for the Japanese country and reestablishing them as an important figure in the world. So it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I read about it, I read the little clickbaity title that said Kojima assassinates the former prime minister, and I was like, what the fuck is going? Like, I was genuinely confused because that's something that is just not true. Like,
Right.
That's never going to happen.
Kojima couldn't hurt anyone physically.
Why is it a headline?
You know what? It's the world we live in. Any sensationalization that we can do is just going to. It's why I don't even care for like video game trailers anymore, which you'll see in my segment called Dylan Reviews the Nintendo Direct Mini coming up. But I'll tell you this much. It's like, why are you pumping up these things that don't deserve it? Why are you trying to get people excited for something? Or like, sometimes things happen and that's just what they are. It's all, man. Figure it out later.
I saw a movie trailer the other night. We went to go see a movie, and there's this movie coming out called The Empire Strikes Back.
You went to the Avalon.
Yeah.
They played the Star Wars trailer for us too when we were there. Another theater is playing the classic Star Wars, so they had the trailers. It was cool seeing them on the big screen.
It was very cool, but of course you have to make the joke. Have you seen the first one? We should go see this. No one laughed.
The first 6 that happened before Empire Strikes Back or something like that at this point. Yeah.
Speaking of cinema, the Resident Evil series came out. Have any of you watched it?
Not yet.
I considered it for a moment. I was going to force my girlfriend to do it with me, but not quite.
That didn't sound good.
Yeah.
No, she would have
rewind.
No.
Are we not doing phrasing anymore?
Yeah.
Officer, he pressured me into watching Resident Evil with him.
But as soon as I saw like a trailer for it, like the kind of like pseudo trailers they give you when you like hover over something for a bit too long.
Yeah.
It said, it had caption Jade, and then it said Jade was saying like, and then they said that global warming was going to kill us, and then it didn't, and blah blah blah. And I was just like, nope. If I'm not hearing Chris Redfield, if I'm not hearing Jill Valentine, it just seems like we're watching like a pseudo nothing version of what Resident Evil is supposed to be. Like, adapt it. If you're going to adapt it.
Well, it's,
even if you're going to change the characters, adapt it.
It's weird. It's weird because they have a new movie they just made.
I know. Which
seems like they're setting up for sequels. And then they
won't get it because it made no money.
Well, I didn't think it was a bad movie. But the Netflix series, it's odd that they're just going completely outside of the universe of the games in a lot of ways because
they did.
I like the casting of Wesker, the dude from The Wire. He plays Zavala in Destiny. I forget his name.
Somebody from The Wire playing Wesker?
Yeah, it's the black dude, the tall, skinny dude.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And I love that guy. I love him as an actor. And
Wood Harris? Ed Harris?
No.
That's
You're thinking of Westworld.
The Wire with Idris Elba. And
it's not Idris Elba, but I forget the guy's name. But
He kind of talks like this.
I watched the first half an hour of it, and it wasn't doing it for me.
Really?
Yes, but I am curious. I know Dom texted me that he started watching it. Dom likes the lore of Resident Evil, so
I think he's the only one that saw the movie in theaters in all of the country.
yeah, it was hard watching it even at home.
I wasn't gonna.
Yeah, people are not digging the new series. I was gonna watch it. I didn't watch any trailers because I keep saying I don't watch trailers.
How hard do they actually think this is? How hard do you think it is to actually adapt something like this? Because I don't think it's as difficult as people can even portray it.
They've been trying to get people into Resident Evil
for as long as I've been alive.
years. It doesn't work on the screen because zombies aren't popular right now.
I'm going to go ahead and 100% disagree with you. They made 7 fucking movies that made a lot of money.
It made a lot of money.
So
But a lot
to
of
say
people
it doesn't
hate
work
them.
on the screen,
Okay, that touche.
that I mean, they were printing out money. And there's a reason Paul W.S. Anderson and Mila Jovovich just like, we're fucking doing it again. We killed half the characters.
Bring them back.
They were clones.
Yeah.
Sure.
Why not?
But I don't know. I mean, there is a voracious audience for everything Resident Evil, and they will keep making them. And I just, this series didn't seem warranted or necessary at all, especially when they just did a movie. But
Yeah, it feels soulless to me. It felt like, well, I haven't seen it, but it feels like they recognized an IP that has a lot of fans, and they're like, they'll watch it because it's got the name. Like, it's Resident Evil. They'll watch it. They'll love it. It's Resident Evil. Make it.
This is the name of the game with Netflix. And it's so funny now that I keep watching these new shows that Netflix creates, and there is literal algorithmic data that they scrub through when they compile this list of what people like within certain genres or whatever, and then they say, well, when we order a new series, it has to include this, and this, or we're not producing it at all. Because those are the ones that tend to have the most views on them, which is why these shows are so tonally inconsistent for the most part. They're not actually trying for anything anymore. They're trying to make
it's quantity over quality.
It's a literal like feed of focus testing, and they're giving all the focus testers what they want instead of letting the thing fly free and being its own thing. That being said, the Sea Beast, I watched it. Pretty good.
with all these new streaming apps now, with Disney Plus, with Amazon Prime, with Paramount Plus, with all of the different apps, the name of the game now is content. So it's not necessarily they're trying to drown us in quality here. They want to have names,
quantity.
and they want shows that people are like, oh, I've heard of Resident Evil. Let's watch that.
Yeah.
And that's why it exists. They just need, like, the same reason. I mean, the MCU shows have been a mixed bag, but they are keeping people on Disney Plus. They have you like, if you're trying to keep up, I saw the MCU has over 100 hours of content now.
They've completely lost me at this point.
Yeah.
I don't have the time to go sit down and watch all of WandaVision, and then the
WandaVision's worth watching, but most of the other ones,
but
Moon Knight was good.
Moon Knight's okay.
I just don't have time.
Miss Marvel was a tough watch.
Okay, Loki was good.
Loki's pretty good.
Loki was maybe the best one they've made.
Captain America and Winter Soldier, bad.
Oh yeah.
There was Baron Zemo dancing in a club. That was the only good 10 seconds of that show.
Yeah. What's the other one that's out? It's more recent.
Kenobi.
No.
That's MCU.
I wouldn't be surprised. What's
like
the
that,
newest?
though.
What's the newest Marvel show?
Miss Marvel's the newest one.
What's the one before that?
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. What?
Then
Really?
She-Hulk is next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for She-Hulk.
Okay.
It looks like a train wreck in a good way.
That's one I might actually watch.
They have a joke about someone fucking the She-Hulk in the trailer, and I was like, okay, I'm paying attention.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
Let's get that food to go. I was like, what? That dude's going to bang the Hulk?
Hulk smash.
Be careful, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually got exhausted. And listen, I'd been collecting comic books since I was 10 years old. And if you are causing me to get bored of all this, you're messing up somehow. I know I'm not even the target audience anymore. And I had to accept that pretty quick. Like, I had to say, like, they're not making these for me anymore. they're making it for someone completely different. And I'm not even sure how successful they're being, or if people are just watching it out of like this weird compulsion or necessity.
To me, I agree with you. It's the compulsion to watch these movies just to see
What happens
these shows,
next, yeah.
what happens next, because it's
In the
so
hopes that something
serialized.
is going to be good.
Yeah.
And you're gonna, if you miss something, you're behind.
That's right.
And it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And they're doing it with Star Wars now too. There's like 4 new live action series getting made, and Disney is just, they own the cows and they're going to milk them.
Well, I mean, like if you hadn't watched the Clone Wars, what are you going to know about Ahsoka Tano when Ahsoka comes out?
Well, all you need is Rosario Dawson and you have my attention.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to pull on her tentacles.
What else we got, Tyler?
Hold on, should we move on? Dylan, I want to hear more.
Of course, yeah. I'll tell you. I'll tell you my thoughts about that.
In fact, I have diagrams.
Elden Ring, Barbarians of the Badlands. There
What's
was
the name of the DLC?
There was a ransomware attack and a bunch of titles for the next upcoming year
The schedule, yeah.
were leaked, and it is appearing that it looks like Barbarians of the Badlands is the name of the DLC for Elden Ring.
Awful name, but
Yeah,
Now-
I'm more concerned about the content than the name.
it'll be good.
people
Yeah.
think it might be fake, and I think they have a little bit of credibility because the whole point of a ransomware attack is to hold someone's files or data or information ransom.
But if
So
you
why
make,
would they give it up?
But if you make a threat and they don't give you the money, you look like a lame-o if you don't follow through, right?
But the time between the attack and the release was really tight. It was like the attack happened and then it was released. So people are a little shady thinking maybe this was faked. The ransomware attack definitely happened, but maybe the information that came out was fake.
Maybe the name is a placeholder. The fact that it isn't released means it could like just be the setting and not like the final name. But from my understanding, the leak did look legit. As far as the rest of the schedule, things made sense. So I don't know.
They don't release these things until a year after they release the original game anyway. It's like the same with Artorias of the Abyss. It's literally just like when they just give like your Game of the Year edition, and then sometimes they include it and sometimes they don't. It could be real, and if it is, great. I mean, I'll be playing it too. Everyone will. Everyone in the world.
I'm excited
It'll be one of the
for
most
it.
successful DLCs of all time, guaranteed.
I'm excited to talk about today's DLC.
Well,
Bungie has officially been acquired by Sony, and if you would have told me that when I was in high school, I would have told you that you were drunk.
You're crazy.
You know,
There's no way that's happening.
You know, Bungie looks very foolish. They look like someone who just is in and out of relationships left and right. They want to be single. They want to be with somebody. They're never happy.
that's true.
Bungie has made some of my favorite video games of all time. But the fact that, all right, they work for Microsoft. They need freedom. They work for Activision. Activision beats the fuck out of them. And then they leave. And now they're with PlayStation. And I don't know. It's not a good look, I think, for the company.
They're kind of the nerdy kid in the corner that everyone likes to pick on. Let's go pick on Bungie.
It's the town doorknob, you know?
Yeah.
Every game company's had a turn.
Well, at this point, yeah, I think, I mean, this is just the result of
Needing
mass
to buy-
monopolization.
Yeah.
And they can't avoid the wave that's coming for them. And
It's Sony seeing the Microsoft acquisitions and saying, "Oh shit, we got to get a big name company
That's
too," even
exactly
though they
what
really
it
haven't
is.
made a great game in a long time.
You talking about Bungie?
Yeah,
Destiny and Destiny 2, wildly successful games.
Destiny 2 is a very good game after Forsaken.
Well, and I mean, those games make a lot of money.
they make a lot of money.
And whether or not they play good.
They play fine. It's just
The story is a big fucking mess, but
Well, what's funny about even when you could stop to consider what Destiny is as a product, the hype for it is completely gone. If they made a Destiny 3, it would not sell.
yeah.
What's funny is they had Destiny 1, and it sold like hotcakes. Then with what's the expansion that they had for that?
There was a bunch. Taken King was the first one that
Taken
made
King was the
made
big
a
one.
difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after Taken King, they made Destiny 2, which everyone was surprised about.
Because it was just Destiny 1.
It was still the same thing, but with better graphics, and it played a little bit better. It did.
It played the same to me. Like I bought Destiny 1 when it came out,
Right.
and it was like,
It's
okay.
It did play the same to me too. It was just the quality of the raids got better.
I think when I do pick up Destiny 2, it's like, yeah, this looks better, but yeah, for me, I agree. Played the same thing. It was the same game.
It's just a model of game that I don't get a lot out of. That need to log in every other week, updates, new gear, fight for the loot. I don't want to ever play a game to fight for the loot drop.
It's the same thing with Forza Horizon. Like, I don't want to look at a bunch of menus of all the things I can possibly do if I have to put this much time into it. I don't need to have a list of shit to do when I play a video game. Let me drive the car. Let me shoot the guns. Let me just play a fucking video game. Like, and you'll hear it from me later when we talk about our new games we've been playing segment. I'm so burnt out on this model of games as a service.
Yeah.
It just annoys the piss out of me. I can't do it anymore. I don't have the attention span for it. There are other things in my life I've got to do, man. And if I'm going to focus on one game, because that's what all these companies want. They want this game to be your game.
That's the only game you play.
This is the only game you play. And for the most part, they actually hook a few people on to doing that. But they're not making games for us anymore. They're making games for them specifically.
Yeah.
They're providing them with so much content, even if that content is hot garbage. And they're not focusing on the people who, you know what, maybe would buy a $60 Forza Horizon game and be like, all right, yeah, I'll play this forever if you keep giving me stuff that's interesting about it.
You know what confuses me? Grand Theft Auto 5. I played through the entire story twice. Love the game, love the world.
It's wonderful.
I tried playing it online once and I didn't get it. And the fact that online is so successful and they have massive DLCs coming just for online that they don't market it to single player people. No. They don't want me to play it. I don't understand it. And if it's, I don't know, release a really high quality single player expansion as well. If you're doing stuff, I don't know.
Well, originally they had planned to. There were supposed to be more heists that you could do with friends, like in kind of like a, just a local co-op kind of
like Crime Wave.
Yeah. Something like that. Sure. Yeah. Or like, what's the Payday? Is that what it's called?
Oh, Payday. Not Crime. Payday.
Yeah. And I would have loved something like that. Oh yeah, or you just pull off the heists, and maybe you have a subsection of the town that you can work with, and you have to constantly be in communication. And
I have the same issue with GTA. Like I tried online when it came out for the PS5. It's free. Let's try it.
Same.
And after like 2 hours, and some stupid fucking kid yelling into the mic. Yeah.
Or the people who just play music over their headset. Yeah. It's like I don't give a fuck. Like stop. It sounds horrible. Yeah. It's just muffled garbage. I loathe Grand Theft Auto Online. Well, I've tried playing it 2 or 3 times since it's been released, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's not fun.
I think the issue might also stem from a lack of immersion. I think a lot of us here play games for the level of immersion. When you meet someone out there named like X Naruto Sasuke 420 X, and they're dressed like an absolute goober,
lowercase x, capital X, lowercase x,
and then with a bunch of parentheses and all this other stuff, you just have to think to yourself like, well, I can't treat you as a normal character within this game, like. Whenever I play an RPG, I try to make a character that might live in the world. I'm not trying to make the goofiest thing with the most flair or like weird outfits. It's like, save that for Fortnite.
That's something I always strive for with my gamer tag. I want no numbers. I don't want any extra fluff on there. And despite Nightrune being a lame name, it is my name. There's no 69 Nightrune 69.
It's not a bad one.
I'm the first.
Realistically,
it's not a bad one though.
It's identity, and I don't know.
Skate with a period.
Oh yeah, that's really bummed me out.
It is skate with a period. It's very important you keep the period in there because they rebranded it. Just skate.
It's for ladies too.
It's a declarative statement now. Skate.
I wish it was question mark.
Yeah,
skate,
or an exclamation point, so you can just scream it like.
Speaking of games as a service.
Yeah, it's going to be free to play, as will Overwatch 2.
Well, people that are diehard skate people are really bummed EA said this. They don't want a free game. They want a good game.
Yeah, because they said there's not going to be a Skate 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is Skate. That's why they put the period in there. This is the skate game, and it's going to be free to play, and it's going to be littered with microtransactions, and you're going to have to pay for cosmetics.
Do you want a new Tony Hawk board? I don't have a lot of skateboarders that I can pull on. Bam Margera is not relevant anymore.
No, he's gone.
Yeah.
You guys don't know Johnny Flip Twist?
Johnny Flip Twist gnarly skate game.
How about
Kickflip.
Robbie Grabnobber?
How long?
good.
That's a different actor.
How long
Rippy
into
Sippy.
Skate's life do you think it is before they introduce the Marty McFly hoverboard?
Oh, 6 months.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Zemeckis is pretty protective of the Back to the Future stuff, so maybe not the hoverboard from there.
It might be
Actually,
the-
Zemeckis, as he gets older, does not.
and
give up.
apparently,
No,
they're-
he won't let them because they want to make more Back to the Futures. He's like, I'm not going to let him fucking touch my
apparently they're
movies.
going to reboot it.
Once he doesn't have control, I've heard that when he dies, they're going to do it. Yeah.
Whatever. He needs to get off his high horse. He made the Polar Express.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made the
creepy
Witches
eyes.
recently too. It's fine.
I think it's really a bummer that this is going to be a free to play game that's going to be more after your wallet than your attention.
Any
That's a
free to
bummer.
game play,
Free to gameplay.
yeah,
Free to gameplay.
The majority of free to play games that I've attempted to play, I hated, couldn't get into. I think you said it best, Brad.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
they're not-
grind.
Well,
And it's meant to be
They're
a
not
grind.
good games.
it's
Skate's going to be a grind.
It's free for a reason, and they want it to be the only game you play. They get your hooks in by saying it's free, and then they start siphoning money bit by bit. Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a live service game, the concept to me doesn't make me angry, and it actually interests me. Like if there was a live service game that was actually good, I feel like I would really like it.
No, and that's fine. I've played plenty of games where they treat it like a live service. Like Titanfall 2 is maybe my best example of it. That game allows you to pay for a few things, and it doesn't really give you a benefit. It doesn't like make your character better.
It doesn't break the game.
It doesn't break the game at all, but they
Yeah.
also still treat you with the amount of respect that you deserve as a consumer, where it's just like, oh, if you want like a better skin for this, go for it, man. We're offering this. And I've used it because I played that game so much in 2018 that I was just like, well, I want my mech to look fucking awesome.
I want flame decals.
Essentially, yeah.
Monster Energy logo.
But when you got into the matches, it was based on the fact that you had to do a grind. It's fine, like any other thing, but you could still win if you got the right weapon. Essentially,
And it's been horribly unsuccessful for people like Battlefront 2 to play as Darth Vader. You had to do like 10,000 hours.
they did correct it.
Well,
And
but-
I played Battlefront 2 for
but they
quite a
didn't
while,
upon release. Shadow of War. That one was a horrible like.
The Lord of the Rings Shadow 4?
So the original game was different than the one that I played and that I'm sure you played. The original one, you got to a point in the game where you either paid money to like advance the story or you grinded out your soldiers for like an extra 10, 15 hours.
Christ.
What? I never heard of that.
That's because they patched it and fixed it. But back in like the original release, there was a point where you either had to go grind for a very long time or pay money to just advance to where you wanted to be.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
And Brad, you just really wanted to fuck Shelob, right?
Shelob was a female human-looking character. Okay, Dylan, we've talked about this.
Well, I mean, still a spider, but
8 arms.
she identifies.
And lastly, for news, if Supermassive, who makes The Quarry and Until Dawn and the Dark Pictures anthology,
Yeah.
was just acquired by Nordisk.
That's THQ, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
They had like a 33% stake in the company, but they decided like we want the whole pie. So
The Quarry's doing pretty well.
Yeah, that's a good game company. They're doing something unique, and people. I really want to play the Dark Pictures anthology games I haven't played, and the Quarry, but
bet
Devin
Tom
and
has
I
not
bought,
physical.
I have Man of Medan you can borrow.
That one was free recently.
right, that's
And
right.
then
It's free right now.
And then there's another one that was like $15 on Amazon the other day.
was-
Little
It's like-
Hope.
Little Hope,
Yeah, so I'd like to play through those. Those are ones where I can sit with Carly and she'll be engaged instead of Disco Elysium, which really confused Carly.
I just played through The Quarry with Devin. I'm on my third playthrough because it's a pretty short game if you fuck up and die like we did. It
I hear,
doesn't take very
I hear the director mode is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a super good game. So the fact that Supermassive got acquired and is going to have what sounds like more funding and more support to keep making these games makes me really happy. They also applied for a registered trademark for 6 more titles, or I don't know if that's going to be more of the Dark Pictures anthology or if they're actually going to make like more bigger games like Until Dawn and The Quarry.
I just hope that they maybe try something a little bit different.
Not horror.
Not just, button cues. I'd love to be able to see.
I find those games so boring.
Me too. I'd love to be able to see what they can do and create like a good story-driven one-player game or something like that instead of the button cue, the button mash, and watch a movie.
So essentially, you want more gameplay.
Yeah.
I think
I don't think that's
I think
what those games are for.
I think the story works in those games.
No,
and it is like I'm watching a scene, and then if I don't hit X really quick, it's like Dragon's Lair in the arcade. Yeah. It's just odd.
Yeah.
And I would prefer those games to give me a bigger heads up, like hold the controller and be ready instead of, I don't know, because it's half watching a movie and half playing a game, which it works, but I see your point.
The games look great. So what can they do with that engine and make a more game?
I think that the skeleton that they're building on is solely contingent upon their motion capture and what they're doing with the performances. Now, I wish that every game I would play by them wasn't a horror game, because I'm one of those people not scared by anything.
It's not about being scared though, and horror is the genre that it most lends to because it's a group of teens.
I understand.
And pushing them around to try and keep them alive. I can't imagine this working in a superhero movie in like maybe Old West, but even then, horror is the movie that people watch and they scream, "Why are you doing that?"
Yeah.
Which really makes that.
I want to.
I do like that they do different kinds of horror though. They're like branching into like camp counselors versus like going after werewolves or whatever. Like they're trying different kinds of horror, which is cool.
And maybe it's just not for me, which is fine. And I fully accept that. I played Until Dawn. I was bored the entire time. People around me were not, who watched me play it. And I got most people to survive. And I was like, oh, that was okay. Like there were aspects of it where like there was like investigation portions and parts where you actually got to walk around. I was Hayden Panettiere for a while.
Trying to take a bath for like a good 10 hours in that game.
And I was just, I was like, oh.
And I was emotionally invested in her getting that bath. And
I wasn't even getting pruny, guys.
I don't know. They do interesting things with those games, like Peter Stormare. And I don't know. I'd either want them to lean into more gameplay or less gameplay and just have it strictly be like pretty much a movie.
Apparently you can with the director mode.
Oh, really?
This is what I've heard, where you can actually take out like the walking portions and stuff, and you kind of get to give people stats.
Yeah.
And then watch it play out. So you can make them ultra dumb or make them really intelligent and then kind of let them loose, which I actually find to be maybe a little more entertaining to me.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to watch a cutscene anyway, I don't want to worry about having to do a quick time event. If I see a cutscene, most of the time I'm putting the controller down.
I'm going to make a call to action on all of us and all of the listeners. When it comes to games where there's a moral system, don't just be the good guy. That's how I play all these games, and
It's boring.
I've heard Disco Elysium is 10 times funnier if you play it like a monster.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to a podcast about Until Dawn where from Watch Out for Fireballs, and they were saying, "Oh, I just make them the worst fucking teenagers you'll ever see." I'm like, that sounds so fun.
Yeah.
It's not about saving everyone. It's about people getting what they deserve.
That's how Devin and I did the first playthrough, because like we looked at each character and it gives you like a little like, this person is honest and trustworthy and this person is arrogant or whatever. So we played like by the book what we thought that person would actually do. And I got to a point in the story where I knew certain death was on the other side of a door. I knew for 100% certainty that if I do this action, it will result in this character dying. But this character is a fucking idiot, and they are definitely going to die. And they died. And I was so happy that I played it that way, because there's like 186 endings to this game.
Yeah.
And now I think there's only probably like maybe 15 big endings, and the 186 are like, oh, you went left instead of going right.
Variations on who died and how they died.
But we play like an hour a night with my brother and his girlfriend, and it's a very different playthrough on our third playthrough.
I think when you have like, for example, like Until Dawn or Man of Medan, if you have a group of people and everyone has the controller.
Well, apparently in this one you're supposed to pass it off like their multiplayer.
The pass off is weird. Yeah. I think Medan had the ability to have two different controllers, but you still have to pass it off if you had 4 people. I think if everyone had their own controller and maybe more quick time events to keep you more engaged,
I think
a big group of people, it could be fun.
Yeah.
Like tandem QuickTime events would actually be interesting
That'd be
because then you're
cool.
relying on other people to do stuff.
That's right, yeah.
Like that actually, to me,
Throw the gun to Dylan, and Dylan has to catch the gun.
and then like maybe my
And we-
character has a bit more sway in their like
Yeah.
shooting. Like maybe people have different stats or ways they handle things. Like that would actually keep me engaged because then I'd be like, oh, I'm Cindy, and Cindy, she can't handle the kickback of a shotgun. Come on.
And I got Karen. She just complains.
And we are
called
going to
manager.
hear from some of the other amazing shows from the HyperX Podcast Network. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and Dylan's going to give us his highlights from the Nintendo Direct Mini a couple weeks ago. We're going to talk about what we've been playing, and we're going to talk about little Cuphead and his pal Mugman. We'll be right back.
And Chalice Girl.
Find inflation the old-fashioned way, by spending less money. Check out the HyperX store at Amazon.com to find great Prime Day deals on July 12th and 13th. Stock up on new gaming gear so you'll be equipped for the new launches and content drops. Mark your calendars and set your alarms. Deals like this won't stick around long.
Hi, we're Ellen,
Steven. And Mark.
hosts of Nice Games Club, the show where nice game devs talk gaming and game development.
Topics include programming, design, tools, and more.
We also do interviews and 1 hour game jams.
Listen to Nice Games Club wherever you get to your podcast. You get there. Or at nicegames.club.
When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year, we'll be there for you. I'm Ryan, the line is always a dot to me.
And I'm Mark. How are you doing? And we are a podcast of two friends watching Friends. We live in every episode of the TV show Friends in all its glory, delving behind the scenes and discussing all our favourite moments.
Join us as we get reacquainted with some old friends and hopefully make some new ones only on the HyperX Podcast Network.
Hey everybody, and we're back. We grabbed a couple more beers from Enlightened Brewing, great local brewery. Check them out. And Dylan, since you weren't here for the last Dogcast, and you are the resident Switch bitch.
I am. I call myself the Ninfrendo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm willing to be Switch bitch too. I've been playing a lot of it lately.
I wanted to get your take, your overall thoughts, and just some of your highlights.
Sure. So I watched these directs, and the first thing I have to say, they've got to quit. They've got to quit it with these announcers. They don't know how to pronounce what they're actually talking about anymore, and they are so condescending. Do you think children are watching Nintendo Direct Minis? No. No. But they talk to us like we're children. It's like a Nick Jr. program. They've really got to stop. And it's just like, no, treat me like an adult. Like, even if it's a kiddie game, like, I'm going to play your kiddie games.
Yeah.
It's fine. But talk to me like I'm an adult human being. The first thing they show off is Nier Automata, the End of Yorha edition, which is a spoiler within the title of it.
That's a good point.
Dylan's getting worked up here.
And it's got all the DLC content for Nier Automata. I don't know how this is going to play on the Switch. I'm imagining a lot of chug. Because these Platinum games are kind of based on smoothness of texture and like gameplay ability. I can't picture paying $60 for this. And it's going to be $60.
There's so many games that by the time they get a Switch port, I've played it on a superior console and I don't want to play it. Like with Nier, I want to be fucking sitting down and enjoying it. Yeah. The thought of playing this without audio on a road trip sounds horrible.
Now, I even said, here's how I would buy it. If they included Nier Replicant and Nier Automata with all the DLC, and they release it for $60, I would easily pay that for the Nintendo Switch. I would go out of my way to pay for that. It's just Nier Automata. And that game is now 4 years old, officially. And I've played it through 3 times. Yeah, it's not going to happen for me anymore.
I loved it. I played it through twice.
Yeah.
I don't need to buy it on the Switch at all. This is pointless.
I can't see myself going through the grind again to face those like final big bosses that you really want to face, the optional ones. Mm-hmm. I don't see it happening.
But
it's great that it's on there.
Every game gets a Switch port. That is a rule. That's like
but they treated it like it's a new thing. They didn't even. They're like, oh, check out this new thing.
Well, and now,
what do you mean?
2B can wear Mario's hat or something. It's like,
well, no, it's like festival hats, like ancient, like not ancient Japanese, but like Japanese festival hats, where they're wearing like kitsune masks and kimonos and stuff. And I guess if you're a weird pervert who just wants to see 2B dressed up as something different,
Hey, go easy.
Go easy on yourself.
I'll stick with the French maid outfits. It's fine. That works just fine for me.
Tyler, you don't know this game, but there is a trick where you can blow yourself up and you permanently knock your skirt off so you can see the character's butt.
Yeah.
Oh, raunchy.
You love it.
This is Nintendo's shtick, though. It's like everything is new. Hey, remember that Mario game that you bought 3 times already?
Yeah.
It's on the Switch. It's new.
But if there was like a...
Now, listen, they do sweeten the pot sometimes.
If you could get your main characters addressed as Wario and Waluigi... and all the bad guys turn into Goombas, like, oh, fuck it, I'll do it.
Listen, yeah. Duh.
I'm a simple man. Give me a Waluigi skin, I buy it.
The next one was Lorelei and the Laser Eyes.
I think it looks cool.
I think it looks interesting.
Sounds
It doesn't.
like a horrible indie band.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's how you were
like the
actually
new
realized for a second.
They copied me. Yeah, that one looked interesting. It looks like my problem is that a lot of these games, especially like indie games, I'm having a lot of trouble because I used to play a lot of them all the time. A lot of them start to feel samey.
Yeah.
And they start to feel a little bit like I'm delving into the same exact thing I've done a million times over. And this looks interesting, and if the reviews are good, I'll play it. It's very artsy, which is my kind of thing. But I don't know. I was just like, okay, yeah. A lot of this is okay, yeah, okay.
Cool.
You do you, buddy. Super Bomberman R2. Fine. Okay. More Bomberman, I guess. Do you guys have any opinions on Bomberman?
No.
I've never played. I
love Bomberman. I like the Bomberman adventure games.
I only like the
platformers.
Xbox 360 reimagining where he was turned into a hardcore war machine.
I knew that about you.
Yeah.
He's like, that looks like Master Chief.
Oh my God, he almost looks cool.
12 feet.
We got the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection.
This pissed me off.
Why? Because we have to do it.
Don't you want to create your own Mega Man again? Come on and create a box.
These games are actually quite good. I'm going to put that out there.
Yeah.
They're lame, but they're good, and they try to make they're like short RPGs for the most part.
They're great collections. Those Mega Man collections, they include a bunch of art. They have they're really good sets, the ones that I own, and it's fine.
Listen, if it's $20, whatever.
It will be eventually.
It includes, and let me go through this full list. It's going to sound psychotic. Mega Man Battle Network, Mega Man Battle Network 2, Mega Man Battle Network 3 Blue, Mega Man Battle Network 3 White.
I don't like
Mega
that.
Man Battle Network 4 Blue Moon, Mega Man Battle Network 4
Miller
Red
High
Sun,
Life.
Mega Man Battle Network 5 Team Colonel, Mega Man Battle Network 5 Team Proto Man, Mega Man Battle Network 6 Psy Beast Gregar,
Yellow Edition.
and Mega Man Battle Network 6 Psy Beast Falzar.
Falzar, nice.
If we do cover this in Mega Man Yuri, we don't have to beat all of the versions. In fact, we don't even have to play them. Fuck it.
Just watch YouTube.
Yeah. It's Man of Medanuary next time.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to end up playing this. It's probably going to drive me and Brad insane because I've never touched these. I used to have the benefit of knowing and playing a lot of these games before we did Mega Manuary.
Yeah.
And now I don't have that. And so now I'm actually going to have to torture myself, which I'm not looking forward to.
I've never played those games either at all. I
have
can't even
played
tell you
one.
what they are.
I played one. I've played the first one.
I'm watching 5 minutes of a speed run, and I'm going to say I beat him.
That would, for some of them maybe, especially Psy Beast Falzar. I don't know if I have the strength to get through that one.
Sounds like a very good game.
Well, they did the Pokemon thing where they released 2 different versions at a certain point, which is just
it's smart.
It's smart, but it's dumb. We've got Pac-Man World Repack.
Nope.
Platforming games from the PS1 and the PS2
that no one has any fond feelings for.
They're brand new.
Yeah. Now I watched this with the girl I'm seeing, and a few of these only popped out to her. One was Blanc. It's about a fawn and a baby wolf cub, and it looks like they solve environmental puzzles, and they each have their own strengths.
Cool art
It
design.
looks beautiful. Yeah, it's got a lot of nice hatch work. It looks kind of like it, has something going for it.
So I haven't watched any of these trailers or this direct, but looking at the list, that actually kind of popped out at me right away. Like,
Yeah.
Even not having seen it, just like the idea sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Yeah.
It's not like It Takes Two, which is difficult for new gamers. This one looks like Carly can make a wolf jump.
Yeah.
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 She could. Yeah.
Carly's good at making wolves jump.
But using 2 thumbsticks and trying to shoot a nail in multiple specific locations on a specific time, hey, she's great at plants.
Katie was actually getting the hang of it, but it's probably gone.
We got through like 2 bosses, and I was like, this is insane. That like she was able to get through it.
I think it was meant for gamer couples specifically.
Yeah. Like you and me, Dan.
Now, exactly. Mwah. But this honestly looks like it also reminded me of something I would have seen probably 10 years ago come out on the PlayStation Network, like one of those types of artsy games. Which, if you've played enough of them, you kind of get bored of environmental puzzles that are easy to solve kind of right away. I'm hoping it's not that. I might play for the art style alone. I might play for her just because I'd have something to play with her. Fine, I'd be happily have that. Then there was Return to Monkey Island, which looks bad. The art style is completely changed. Low animation, almost like stick figure.
It's got some of the same creators. I didn't play the first one, but
they are like paper craft looking now, but not. They are blocky and strange, and it just I don't know. I would actually like to have Tom's opinion on this, because Tom is the resident Sierra guy. LucasArts.
I have a feeling Tom will play it regardless.
I think he will, but I would actually be curious to see what he thinks about this in particular, even the trailer.
Yeah.
Because maybe he was excited, maybe he wasn't. I'm not sure how much of a Return to Monkey Island fan he was, though.
He loved the original.
Okay.
He did. He was all about those style of games.
Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
I'm going to play the fuck out of that
Well,
game.
I will too.
I was so pleasantly surprised by the first one. I didn't think I'd like it, and I loved it.
Yeah.
That's a must-buy.
It's funny, though, that there's only so much to really show, so they showed off battles, and it was just... they were trying to make it like a commentary about what they were doing within it, and I was just like, this is stupid.
Yeah. I'm surprised they're making this game, because I didn't think there was a demand for the first one.
There was. It sold so well.
Yeah.
Well, based on the fact that it's $15. It's also one of the only Switch games that gets down to $15, which is unheard of for almost
everything.
everything.
Because it has Ubisoft attached to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will play it. I will wait till it drops in price.
Yes.
We've got Little Noah, Scion of Paradise, which is out, and I considered getting it for a millisecond, and then I said, no. I'm not going to buy this.
Great story.
This is going to be an on-the-air thing. We're going to look up what it has on Metacritic. It has a very bad user score rating. Nobody has reviewed it yet. It has a 2.6 user score rating.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Is
solid.
it out of 2.6?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, someone has it.
They hit it out of the park.
On a scale from 1 to 2.6, how much did you like this game?
Now, actually, there are...
They just adjust the scale after everyone voted.
There are reviews by gaming publications like Touch Arcade, which gave it a 90. Siliconera.
Never heard of them.
Neither have I. It gave it a 90. Nintendo Life gave it an 80. Little Noah is a game that we can easily recommend, but with the caveat that it's not really special in any way. That's all I need to hear. Yeah, I was like, okay, well, it's coming out today. I don't know what that means. So I'm done with that. Sonic Frontiers got a trailer for the Nintendo Switch.
They're getting so much flack about that game.
Why? What is the flack? I don't know much about that.
I think that people actually expected it to be good, and they're seeing that it's not.
I think the fear was it looked to be open world, and Sega's like, no, it's not going to be that. I think they're doing a huge course correct and kind of going back to the drawing board with what it's going to be.
I got more of a vibe of like Bowser's Fury, where you have like a semi-open world, but you run around into like individual like level areas.
Well, let's be clear. Bowser's Fury is the future of Mario. It has been.
I
said
still
by
haven't
certain
played that
developers.
game. I've only dabbled a little.
Bowser's Fury is so good. Did you get the? You can just borrow it from me. It's fine. It's very good. Bowser's Fury is the best Mario thing I've played in probably.
Really?
I think it's a little better than Odyssey.
Whoa!
Because it's actually a little more platformy, and it's got kind of the feel of Mario 3D World, which I find to be a little bit superior. It's just me, though. I think Odyssey is made for a different audience.
But Sonic Frontiers, the trailer was poorly received.
Oh, I've played.
It was poorly received, but this is just confirming that it's coming out of the Switch. Yeah. This is like their Switch kind of showcase for it. I don't see why people think it's bad. I bet you $1 million. Like, it'd be very funny, actually. I shouldn't bet $1 million, but I think it'd be very funny if this is the first Sonic game that I actually end up liking. I love Mania. I love 1, 2, 3 Knuckles. That's it.
What about just Sonic? Did you play that one?
Disney Dreamlight Valley. Life sim garbage. It's a world where people forget their memories and it's a bunch of Disney and Pixar things living together. It looked dumb. Live Alive, a game that really piqued the interest of me and Brad. We were talking about it, and I just started the demo even at his place before we started recording. I kind of want this to be a surprise for me, though. It looks fantastic. It looks a little bit like Octopath Traveler and a mix of Triangle Strategy, which I'm all about.
I'm such a dope. I thought this was a brand new game, and I played the demo, and I was like, dude, you're going to love this, Dylan. And Dylan's like, yeah, it's a game that's already out. It just didn't come to America. I was like, what? The art style for this like remake, it looks fantastic. And the story looks really cool, too.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. It was on Super Nintendo, apparently.
Yeah, it didn't come to the States. It was just over in Japan. But it's 7 different time frames. There's like Old West, there's feudal Japan, there's the distant future, there's modern times.
It reminds me a little of Chrono Trigger in the way that it'll all kind of then blend together and you'll be a party, which I find really interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully the story's good. I've only heard, like, if you read about how that game was received in Japan, it was pretty good. It's like a cult classic.
It's weird that I haven't heard of it over here really before.
Well, it's a lot of those like Mana games that never came out here until recently.
Yeah.
I think with the success of those, they decided like, oh, there's an audience that actually wants to play traditional RPGs. Let's go for it. We have Doraemon, Story of Seasons, Friends of the Great Kingdom. It's like a Harvest Moon clone starring everyone's favorite classic manga character, Doraemon.
Oh, I love him.
I like Digimon.
Oh, Dora's where it's at.
Minecraft Legends, which just looks like Minecraft Dungeons, but in like an open world type setting. If I'm going to play Minecraft, I'll just play Minecraft. It's already a game.
Is that the 2-player co-op dungeon crawler looking one?
I don't know. Tyler. I don't know, Tyler.
Listen, Tyler, Tony, we don't know.
Hey, Tyler, enough of these questions, buddy.
I'll just.
This just looks like hot, steamy poop that doesn't belong to me.
Also, everyone that loves Minecraft, like these kids that are obsessed, take the money.
They fucking love it.
My nephew doesn't even play the games, and he needs everything Minecraft.
We've got Dragon Quest Treasures. Oh, boy.
What was it?
Dragon Quest Treasures. Which I liked a few spin-offs of Dragon Quest. I like the slime games like Rocket Slime, stuff like that.
It's just
and I like Dragon Quest Builders. That's a better Minecraft, frankly, because you actually have stuff to do and they give you things like quests. And then I saw this and I said, no, I'm done. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, fine. It's already out. And it came out pretty quick right after this, from my understanding. Now, I know someone who's actually played it. They said it's fun. It's another Muso game. So it's like your Dynasty Warriors. Fine. All right.
Fine.
I'll play it because I like the characters of... It takes place after the time skip in Three Houses. And then it's just you fulfilling another timeline. Great. I'll play it.
Cool.
I just saw the meme of that like broy dude trying to explain something to his girlfriend. It's just you explaining the plot of Fire Emblem to us.
Well,
so there's time travel, right, Brad? I'm like, okay.
Well, there's no time travel. It's just a time skip.
Let's make this perfectly clear.
Yeah. 2 years, yeah. Then there's a Plague Tale Requiem cloud version. And I immediately was just like...
Cloud version's bad.
I will never play cloud versions of games.
Yeah.
That is my barrier now. I will never do it. I said, and I was asked, like, why is that so bad? And I'm like, because you don't actually have the game. You have to be connected to the internet the whole time, and your internet has to be very good. So no, I'm not going to do it. Captain Velvet Meteor, The Jump Plus Dimensions.
Are these from the same Direct Mini?
Yeah.
Yikes.
When a young boy who has no friends moves to an unfamiliar place, things then are about to take an insane turn.
That's
The
like when I
boy,
moved to Milwaukee.
Damien will live in a fictional world as Captain Velvet as he embarks on various adventures together with his favorite manga characters.
I'll play it.
Oh no!
I'm gonna just
because of the name.
I'm just gonna say right now, Captain Velvet has got to be the worst name.
He's so smooth.
You either
And
love it or
Professor
hate it, apparently.
and I'm Professor Plaid. Yeah,
They call me Mr. Silk.
loaf of white plaid.
We have to defeat Mr. Tweed.
The Portal Companion Collection. Wow. One that actually piqued my interest. Harvestella, which looks to be a sim kind of game in the more of the vein of like Harvest Moon, but also Rune Factory. But it looks like it has a few kind of quirky twists about it. It's a bit more realistic looking. I was kind of intrigued by it. It's not going to show you a good. It's not going to show you what it is. I would honestly recommend anyone to watch the trailer because at first I'm like, what is this? Like a new Rune Factory? What's the deal? Nope. Turns out it's just a new title in its entirety, and I'll take it because it's a new thing. It's not a port. Persona 5 Royal is coming to Switch.
Yay.
Yep. And then they announced that the other ones are coming too. Fine.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I could see wanting to play Persona 3 or 4 handheld.
4 on handheld is the best. I mean, it's still the best Persona game. I mean, you guys will all have to find out eventually, but it's fine. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak.
Fine.
Great. People who love it, they love it.
I've tried.
I've tried with
I've tried
Monster
very
Hunter.
hard.
And they've made a lot of improvements to their gameplay, but I'll tell you, it just doesn't work for me. I own it. If any of you guys want to try it on the Switch, you're more than welcome. I have no need to keep it around really right now, so if you guys want to give it a shot, go ahead.
And before we finish the segment, Dylan, can you just give us your overall letter grade for the Mini?
Oh God, C-.
You heard it here first, folks. Actually, you heard it from other places because this happened a few weeks ago, but you heard it here last, folks.
He gives
it a C- out of a possible C-.
Out of a possible 2.7.
Now this was it was pretty big for a mini is what they call it.
Now coming to Nintendo Switch, other games from other consoles.
I will tell you one thing. They had a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Direct as well that I watched, and I'm much more positive about that. I will go to bat for Xenoblade Chronicles. I think the second one is a brilliant game after you get to a certain point in it. But you also have to be invested in types of games like that where everything is so in depth and you have to like really function with it. I would suggest actually looking at the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 one.
All right, and that was our update on the Nintendo Direct Mini. We'll be back in 2 weeks to talk about the Direct Mini again because there's another Direct Mini, I'm sure, because they come out all the time these days.
Really?
I don't know, probably. We're going to quickly talk about what we've been playing, if there's any new game we want to talk about before we move on to the topic. Mm-hmm. Jamie, what you been playing?
Not a whole lot, actually. I've been busy, but for Leave Your Brain at Home, Far Cry 5, it's okay.
Which one is that? Is that the one with the cult people?
Yeah. You know, I'm enjoying it. You know, it's having never really played much Far Cry in the past. It's Just Cause in first person view.
I couldn't get over the silent protagonist. That really bummed me out.
But yeah, you know, not a lot of games. I'm actually really looking forward to playing Stray next week or this week. I think that'll be a really, really cool.
Is that
game.
a full title release? $60?
It's for free
for the subscription PS Plus
Spartacus Premium.
We're only calling it
That's what we're
Spartacus.
calling it.
Yeah. Spartacus.
I even call it
Spartacus.
that mistakenly all the time.
That's the only way I know what people mean.
Yeah.
But
If only I could find a PS5.
I think it's free tomorrow, the 18th, right? Or is it Tuesday?
It's 19th is release date.
so it's Tuesday.
So it's this came out.
It's a small game.
It came out yesterday.
small
Then by
developer.
the time this comes out, yeah.
So we won't know anything about it.
I can see it maybe like there's no price listed on the PS store. My guess would probably be like $20 or $30. I can't see it being 60. It's a
We can
really
look this
small
up real
developer.
quick.
I could see it being maybe 40, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't pay. I wouldn't see people paying more than that. The game looks cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I just like the idea behind it. It's something different.
Yeah, it
Apparently-
looks like a Black Mirror episode starring a cat.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
You have my attention.
Apparently,
into
you
it.
can put different backpacks on your cat.
Oh shit!
I read that
40.
today.
40.
Now
Right?
imagine if you could scan your cat and put your cat in the game.
I could play as Howie.
Oh my god, I'd have
Or
to
I could
buy
put
a
like
PlayStation.
I could put like Tyler's face on the cat.
That's a nightmare fuel. That's
That's
what
really
that is.
scary. That's really scary.
Meow.
Meow.
It's like a
With my
Seaman.
default, like meow.
Leonard Nimoy is the voice of Cat.
There's a reason why this cat is a stray. It's because Tyler fucked a cat, and he just left.
I
I had to
also
go get cigarettes. I'll be right back.
I finished Gran Turismo 7 a couple weeks ago. Good game if you like racing.
How was
games.
the final boss?
Finished it. Yeah.
The final boss was hard, but
Is it
rewarding.
Is it like
was a
is there like a final race that's like a big
There-
Grand Prix or something?
I
don't
thought
know.
it kind of is, and I thought, okay, well, I'm done. And then all of a sudden, more missions or menus came my way. So
you think you're done, but we want you to keep playing.
bingo. It looks great. It feels great with the DualSense. It's one of the first Gran Turismos I've been able to nail without having a racing wheel, simply because of the DualSense controller.
Okay.
You feel the tires, you feel everything. So
I have to come
immersion,
over and try that.
That's the
honestly.
one that I played at your house, right?
Yeah.
The controller works great.
the immersion level on that game is through the roof.
Cool. I'm gonna have to try it out. I'm always anxious to play games like that. Yeah. Is there anything else you've been playing?
If I have, I can't remember. I've been kind of trying games and then losing interest because
Right.
I'm the type of gamer where if I find something, let's try it. And sometimes I'm hooked and I just want to play the shit out of it. And other games, it's like, what else you got?
I'm very okay putting a game down if it's not
Yeah.
clicking. Although
Yeah.
I'm glad I pushed through 2 games that I would have put down recently that sometimes they do work in the end.
For sure. Oh, totally.
Tyler, have you beat Hades?
Beaten Hades a couple times now.
Okay.
Not like the full ending because I had to start playing Cuphead. But I did beat Hades 4 or 5 more times since
Okay.
we recorded the Hades episode.
So not 10 yet.
Not 10. I think I'm at like 6 or 7 though.
Okay.
Maybe 5. I don't know. But Hades is still, I didn't expect that game to be so good. And it might be one of my favorite games. Like,
Supergiant is a great developer.
man, I can't put it down.
It's addicting. It is fucking addicting.
I was actually mad at Cuphead because I had to put Hades down and play Cuphead.
Fuck you,
For
Cuphead.
this episode. And like,
Fuck this other beautiful game.
I definitely held a grudge. Like, I didn't like Cuphead for a minute, but we'll talk about that later.
yeah.
Hades, I still play that a little bit. I played The Quarry through like twice.
Yeah.
Once alone and once with Devin.
Do you
and
have
then,
physical?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I like it when my friends own physical.
Devin owns it. I bought
Let's
it
get
for his
physical,
birthday.
Yeah. Let's get physical. That's the mantra for gaming today.
The Quarry was great. I do think it needed a little more gameplay and less watching, but beautiful on the PlayStation 5. Absolutely gorgeous.
I'll have
Do
to
you have a
try that.
PS5 now? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I think last time I saw you, you were still trying to get one.
Yeah, I have Ascended.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Yeah, it feels great. I also got
feel
an
so
Apple
left
Watch, so like I'm over the moon.
He's got a Bluetooth in. He's taking business calls while he's on the air right now.
Yeah. Sell.
Yeah.
What? No, buy.
That's how business phone calls work. You just yell buy and sell a bunch.
No, not buy. I said goodbye. Buy.
That's a good sell.
Yeah.
Buy.
Hades, The Quarry, and then there was one other game I played a little bit, and I can't remember because it was like, what was that? It was insignificant then. I don't know.
Yeah, if you don't remember, it's not even worth knowing.
Played it for like 2 days in the middle there, but no. And then Cuphead naturally.
Sure. I actually played a lot of newer releases. I got the Klonoa Fantasy Reverie collection, which is the first Klonoa, Door to Phantom Isle, and the second one, which I never played.
Never heard of.
I know. They're platformers.
They're very weird.
They're weird. It's
We had PS1 Klonoa, and me and my brother loved it.
It's a very good video game. And these remasters are quite good. They are, like, I could call this video game segment Dylan Plays Baby Games. They're very easy.
Isn't Klonoa like got some really intense dark lore though?
It does. It's like the
Like if
story is
Elmo
actually-
was from the nether world or something.
Elmo gonna kill you.
It's surprisingly dark for the time too. It's hidden behind like this very cheery facade. It's a Namco game, and you can tell because he wears a hat that has a little Pac-Man on it. and he was kind of an attempt at a mascot character that never went through. Very popular in Japan, apparently, but not here.
Not a great name.
Klonoa.
Yeah.
It's just a dog boy.
Quinoa.
Yeah.
Quinoa.
Sorry, I'm just stuck in my ways. No, I found it very good.
Quinoa's not a bad name.
It was $40 frickin' though. I just paid it though. I didn't really care. I just wanted to play something new. And then yesterday I was I had a bug up my butt, and I was like, I'm gonna play this new Kirby game. I really want to try.
That's a recipe, dude, to fix any bugs you have in your butt.
Kirby in the Forgotten Land, which is the best Kirby since Planet Robobot.
From what I've seen, it looks like it has the joyful invention that Mario Odyssey kind of brought to the table, where it's just out there.
It's not even that out there. It is very traditional Kirby, but they put it on a plane now. They actually make it so it's not a side scroller.
It's like Snakes on a plane, but it's Kirby on a plane.
Yes, Brad. Exactly like that.
Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, exactly.
That's Kirby.
Yeah, that's Kirby.
And this is a very good video game, and I would recommend it to anyone. There's a lot of like collectibles, side things to do. Kirby controls great. There's something called the mouthful mode. I know. I knew you would like that. Where literally Kirby can't suck up a thing entirely, and he kind of latches onto it, and he becomes like a car, and he drives around. Or he like sucks up a vending machine, and he kind of spits out cola cans at people.
I mean, I don't like that. Now I love it. I don't like that there's now a ceiling to what Kirby can suck up. Because I thought before he had the ability to suck up anything.
Well, he gets plopped into like a post-apocalyptic Earth. Essentially, that's what this game is, and it's got like all the classic Kirby enemies flying around there, but it's clearly the remains of a civilization that is super just human.
Yeah.
So it's really fun to kind of see Kirby play in that, and I mean the game functions so well. It's nice to actually see them try at a Kirby game. The last one was Star Allies, which was so traditional and baby. It had a lot of content, but it was a very easy video game. I returned it, if that means anything. And I love Kirby games. I mean, still, if you're going to rank all the Kirby games, it's still Kirby Superstar, Kirby's Adventure, Planet Robobot, and then maybe this. It's a very good video game. I would highly recommend it to anyone.
I want to check it out as well.
Yeah. I've got it. If you guys want to borrow it too, cool. Once I'm done, perfect.
All right. As far as what I've been playing, I checked out the Live Alive demo. I beat 2 out of the 3 levels.
Which ones?
I went to Feudal Japan, the samurai level. Then there's like Ancient Japan, I think is the other one. I didn't do that one. But the farthest in future, the change in art design and tone, it goes into 2001: A Space Odyssey pretty much, mixed with Alien.
That's cool.
It's just a stark difference in what you're looking at, what the characters talk about, and even just the map. The map in the Ancient Japan is like a hand drawn, like how you would imagine someone draw out a fortress, and in the future, just like it looks like all computerized and stuff. It's super cool.
Oh, that's dope.
And I didn't love the voice acting in the demo because when I think of SNES, PS1 RPGs, there wasn't voice acting, and I want to read fast, and I want to hear. I don't think it's visually. It's beautiful, but I don't know if it's engaging enough for me to sit there and listen to some subpar voice acting. If you had Christoph Waltz as the robot character Cube, I would pay attention. But sadly, it is not. Whoever you are, I'm sorry, you're not Christoph Waltz.
If you have voice acting without the emotion attached to it that you see within a human face, it really just lands completely flat. I was telling you that earlier.
Yeah.
I don't, without like any type of emotion to it, you're just getting nothing.
Even what they do in Hades is simple enough where they change the picture, but the pictures are so emotive that the voice acting is so good.
Well, they had portraits. They have portraits of people reacting
instead of a little sprite.
Things. Yeah.
I beat Hollow Knight today. Got the bad ending, but luckily I can go right back in. And I went from not feeling great about the game to thinking it's fantastic. I don't think it's perfect, but I love most of it.
Yeah. I'm hoping for Silk Song. I think Silk Song might be like the one.
And we will talk more about Hollow Knight next week. But I also recently picked up our topic for the episode. I beat Cuphead, the Delicious Last Course, and we will talk about that. And that is the topic of today's episode. For Indie Games Month, we are talking about Cuphead today. Cuphead. Let's just get some of the big facts out here before we start gushing or complaining. If you're Tyler,
What is he gonna do? We don't know.
Cuphead was released for Windows and Xbox One September 29th, 2017. Since then, it's come to Mac, Switch, and the PS4. It didn't make it to the PS4 until 2020. They really held off there. Timed exclusive for Xbox, developed and published by MDHR, directed by brothers Chad and Jared Moldenhauer. It's a family affair. One of their wives was involved as a producer and as one of the artists, and they even have like some cousins or lesser Moldenhauers involved as well.
The lessers.
It's written by Evan Skolnick, composed by Christopher Mardigan, and Cuphead is a pretty unique game. It's got a specific art style. It's hand-drawn animation. And have you beaten Cuphead, Jamie?
I have come very close to beating it. It's a beautiful game. I think it's probably one of the best looking games in a long time for that style of game.
Yeah.
Super unique. I get frustrated very, very easily with repetition. But the one thing I do find with Cuphead is the replayability is there. So when you want to throw the controller against the wall because you can't beat a boss, it's not a lot of effort to come back and try it again, right?
It's almost instantaneous.
That's right. Is it my type of game? No. Do I like it? Hell yeah.
Yeah. Cuphead, run and gun. Some levels are shoot 'em up.
Yep.
It's essentially a boss rush. You're going to have these beautifully drawn, thought out characters that are all referencing. If you've seen any of the behind the scenes, almost every attack even enemies do are a reference to like, oh, we like the way Guile moved in Street Fighter, so that's why this frog does this little move.
Absolutely.
It's kind of an homage to video games.
Yeah, because these two brothers...
It's essentially a Contra game.
That was one of the big influences for
the spread gun, obvious. The regular gun is obvious. It's machine gun and spread. It's like, it's all there. The laser gun is there too. Like the ones that shoot back, like homing missiles and stuff like that. It's all there.
Apart from just the gameplay, just the story of these two brothers that played together growing up. They watched the same cartoons. They love the same games. And they're like, we want to do it. We want to make a game. And they did it. Like, they didn't have prior experience. This is their first game they made. This was development began in 2010. And
wow, really?
Yeah, and it didn't come out till 2017. I think it was 2014 is when they previewed it at E3. But
this took E3 by storm that year too. People were like, "What the fuck is this? And is it actually going to be good?"
Well, yeah, because no one has ever seen a game like that before. I think these guys hit it out of the park with their concept, with their idea.
The original concept was it was going to be advancing. Each level would start with a different level of animation quality. Mm-hmm. So first level would be kindergarten. It'd just be like really shitty looking stick figures, and eventually you'd get to high quality. They threw in like a Fleischer cartoon drawing just as like, this is what a level might look like. And they were very frustrated when everyone's like, that's awesome, do that. Because then the artist, he's like, I have to hand draw the entire game now. And he had never done animation before they did this. Mm-hmm. He picked up a book that was like, this was my Bible for how to do animation. And he did it. Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to see the original concept of drawing getting better. That seems really interesting to me.
You can see it online. There's some of the early designs for the levels, but they doubled down. They refinanced their houses. This took longer than they thought, and just a massive success story. This game,
and they're Canadian. Like I was neighbors with them. I know them well.
There's not many houses in Canada, is there?
No, there's like 7.
Tyler, what are your thoughts on Cuphead?
Overall, I really enjoy the game. Unfortunately, it had to follow Hades, and I am still currently obsessed with that game, and I loved it. So following Hades is a tough act. Cuphead, though, it was all right. It's so fucking hard. Let me just start by saying that this is like you, not my style of game, but it is so pleasant to look at.
Oh yeah,
it is beautiful. The sound design is great. I hate the run and gun levels where you're just running the left to right or whatever the side scroller levels. Those are my least favorite.
I think that is kind of universal. The platforming doesn't work as well in terms of levels, but when they have one screen that they have to focus on, that tends to be where they get all of their creative energies out, and it's a little bit more precise. Because there were times where enemies would pop out of nowhere, like running through like a level, and I'd be like, well, this enemy seems like it could be placed a few pixels to the side, and I wouldn't have, like, it would have been more intuitive. Or it feels like the enemies hit you harder. I don't know what it means.
I think what it is the boss battles are so just completely fine-tuned. And when I play the platforming to get to the boss, I don't expect to be punished so hard on just a running level. Well, and this one punishes you.
Well, do you know the story about those platforming levels? They were added later at the behest of Microsoft.
Oh, really?
Who said that they didn't want just another like a boss rush mode. That was, but that makes it actually feel like something that's tacked on.
So my thought of it. So that originally makes sense. This was just kind of, we need more content in the game, so that makes sense.
Oh, so originally, from my understanding, all the coins you get to get the upgrades and stuff were based off of your parries. Okay. So you would get 3 coins if you parried and you were successful in getting through the level.
Well, no wonder I'm fucking broke then, because I suck at
parrying. No. But now you only get coins from the actual run and gun levels.
And on the map,
right? Or
doing weird things.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Like the parrying challenges in the chalice.
Also, just talking to characters. Sometimes you'll find them on the map, hidden around places. But
I missed that at the beginning because I was like, "Oh, this is like a."
Someone gives you 3 right away. The Apple Boy.
Yeah. Well, you get. You're supposed to talk to him. It tells you to talk to him. So I talked to that guy, but then for whatever reason, was like, oh, this is like Mario or Donkey Kong, where it's like I just walk to the next level and then I play the level. I'm like, this sucks. Like the first level after you cross the bridge is that first run and gun level, and it is brutally difficult because all you have is your little pea shooter, and I'm not typically good at these style of games anyway.
Oh,
so
it was double hard for me.
The one thing I found about it, I'm typically not good at games like this, but having played, like, I can't remember how much Brad and I played 2 years ago or last year, whenever it was. I'm sure we beat half of it.
We got through the first island was what we did.
So getting through island 1 and 2 in like 2.75, like a quarter of World 2, it's like, oh, well, I've played these guys, like these bosses. And it was super, not easy, but it was intuitive. It's like the muscle memory is there already. It's like, nice. And then I get to the new stuff that I hadn't been to yet. It's like, fuck, this is hard.
My experience replaying older levels, much easier. After you've beaten it once, it's more attainable, except Grim Matchstick was tougher the second time around.
I felt like I played very briefly right after the Hades episode, and then I put it down for a minute because I was like, fuck that game, it's stupid. Zag's not even in it. It's dumb. I don't like that, and it's hard. But then I picked it back up, and I felt like just playing it for like 2-3 hours straight, my skill just went straight through the roof. Like I got a lot better, a lot faster. Then you start understanding more of the mechanics, how like I'm going to get these coins and go buy new weapon. Oh, there's new weapons. Wait, I can equip new things. I got this really fucking cool dash that makes me invisible that I abuse the shit out of.
That dash is very
that's key.
I abuse it.
Yeah. Everyone, that's like one of the best tips and tricks for a beginner.
Did you try the thing I told you yesterday?
Yeah, the moment I got home, and I was like, "There's a fucking genie! What the fuck?"
This was, I think, maybe added for the DLC. It's newer. It's called Game Jimmy. The genie's name is Jimmy, but if you spin around 3 times on the map,
5 times.
5 times.
Yeah.
He adds, you can get 3 wishes, and the wishes is like double your health for a level.
Until you beat a level.
Until you beat the level. You only get 3 of them the first playthrough, and then after you beat the game, you get infinite, but yeah, it's like a game genie.
Yeah, I was a little mad, though, that I've wasted one already, because, like, I was still in island, like the first island. I think I was fighting the giant carrot. And
you wasted on the root pack?
Yeah,
root pack is the easiest one.
Yeah,
I didn't know what it was. You just told me if you're having trouble.
Well, I
spin
figured
around
you
5
were
times.
having trouble. Like, no one has trouble with the root pack.
Well, no, but I got logged. I jumped in the game.
This game is tough, and I don't think a lot of people. Cuphead. Wow,
I think it turned off a lot of people.
Cuphead. It looks cute. It's an
hard.
easy game,
Yeah.
and you play it, and you're not supposed to just beat it. You're supposed to struggle. You're supposed to learn patterns. Something that this game does that I think is awesome is the bosses change their patterns every time you play it.
Yep.
They'll do completely different attacks, or they'll do things in a different order, different timing, and I think that's great for keeping you on your toes.
Sometimes it's also random.
That determines your success too. Like
Sometimes it's luck.
you're doing so well. You're hands down right. It's like doing so well. Please, like the slot machine boss.
I got the tiger the entire
Please don't
time.
Please don't get the tiger. Please don't get the tiger. I'd only had it once. I was so close to finally beating him, and then ding, 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 tiger. Fuck. But then
there's a
after doing
trick.
it
There's
once,
a trick to the tiger.
Then
if you stay towards the side of the screen, you kind of do this run and then move over and then run and move over. It's literally just figuring out how to do it, because if they're just sending the same thing after you, once you learn the repetition, it's fine. I think, like, especially like bosses like that, they get so clever in. One of the ways that games don't really get this good anymore is a lot of it is just breaking down a health bar.
Yeah.
You don't see the health bar in this game.
Yeah.
It is literally just like, you got to make sure you're just
one thing they do that's
them.
cool though. If you die, you get this little line that says how far along you got in the boss battle, which is really helpful in letting you gauge what you've been
it's
doing.
got the flags on it too for I think
when
stages.
phases change.
Yeah. So you can. You know how discouraging it was, though, to like see that I didn't even make it to the first flag. I'm like, there's 2 more flags and I'm already dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and something this game does that's really awesome is there's secret phases for certain bosses too.
Shit.
Like the root pack. If you don't attack the onion and you just let him cry for a while, you don't fight the carrot. You fight a radish instead.
What?
There's a part where you're fighting a genie and he reads your character, does like a read and does a copy like puppet. If you go into small plane mode, he has a mini puppet. And there's a lot of like little phase changes that this game does. And I mean, the amount of work that goes into developing these boss battles, it's tough. It is tough, but what I appreciate is it's fun because it's difficult.
Right.
It has managed that difficulty level, which is tough to do, where it's not unfairly punishing you. It is just difficult and get good.
Yeah.
So a game that I compare this to quite often, and I kind of have to. It's one of the best games ever made. It's called Shadow of the Colossus. I don't know if you guys ever played it.
It's a great game.
It's one of the best games ever made, artistically and gameplay wise. I think it's near perfect.
What's the horse's name again?
I don't know. I haven't played that game.
Aggro.
Aggro.
Yep. And I compare it to that because
it's the same concept.
when you just focus on a boss battle, but the boss is the environment, the boss is the level, because when you have so much going on screen and you're just like the platforms shift, the environment shifts around you, it might as well just be a full level of a video game, but it's just a boss at this point. I find that to be interesting. I think that getting clever with it and using the tools at your disposal in order to kind of dispatch these enemies is pretty awesome. I have very limited problems with this game.
It's great.
How crazy is it that this game came out in 2017? Every game has been made before. Nothing else looked like this when it came out.
No.
Doing high quality hand drawn animation, and they went back to like the Fleischer cartoons of the 30s. Cuphead's design, they were inspired by a Japanese propaganda cartoon from 1936 where an evil American cup turns into a tank. And it's the level of creativity that goes into everything. If anything, I find I'm paying so much attention to not dying. There is so much little animation and detail going into the attacks that you just don't see.
it's almost best to play as a group, like when you, Dom, and I played it 2 years ago, where we're all getting frustrated. We're just passing the controller, and when you're not playing, you can actually see
what's really going on.
Yeah, because you're right. Like, you're so focused on not dying, you don't really get the true beauty of the game.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is almost like two art students coming out of, art school for animation.
How dare you?
They made a game. Versus two guys, three guys, a family saying, we've never made a video game before. Let's do that.
But we like cartoons. We like Street Fighter. We like Contra. We like Final Fantasy VI gets referenced quite a bit in here. And so Cuphead is... they also tried many different protagonists before they settled on Cuphead. Cuphead looks friendly, cute, approachable. He's not saving a princess. He was gambling at a casino and made a bad bet, and now his soul belongs to the devil.
Until he becomes a bounty hunter.
And now you're a debt collector for him, going and killing people who were supposed to give their souls up. I love that it's got intense, like, dark tones to it. And then there's also the Netflix show, which is you can also tell, like, that's not what the game is.
No.
That is a Saturday morning cartoon. This is a SpongeBob, a Ren and Stimpy.
Yep.
It is meant to be friendly and approachable. My nephew loves the Cuphead show. And there were some people complaining, like, there's not a lot of substance. It's just kind of like a light little cartoon. I'm like,
whatever.
Yeah, it's a fucking light little cartoon.
If they want, Fleischer style animation costs a lot of money, especially these days. Back in the day, they were willing to throw money at it because they'd play it before movies, and it was like a guaranteed kind of, money maker for them. Now it's just, to that level of animation doesn't exist anymore. If you watch like those early Fleischer Superman cartoons, they look better than any animation that we have going on. They use rotoscoping. They do silly things with it. They make everything a little more dramatic. It looks awesome. Because I remember watching it before, like, Mask of the Phantasm on, like, Cartoon Network. And I'm like, this looks better than anything I've ever seen before.
I agree.
And with this, they actually have the smoothness of animation, but to integrate it into something that you can actually kind of have this kinetic interaction with, that's insane to me.
The game is 60 frames per second, but the animation is 24 frames per second, which is pretty cool.
That's another crazy aspect to it, too.
That's what gives it its unique playability and visual, like, animation aside, it's
the visuals are really what won me over and, like, kept me playing when I got frustrated.
I think if it looked any other way, this game would not be as popular.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Plain and simple. Even if it played well, it would be something that people would highly regard, but they wouldn't exactly, like, go to bat for it every single time.
Yeah, this game has the substance, it has everything, but it's all flash, right? Look how pretty this game is. So to your point, without that prettiness, this would have been like
another great game.
Another great game in an indie library somewhere, and you randomly see it on sale and you try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the art design is just so special that it's elevated. It's elevated for sure.
Well, it's a little mesmerizing. Like,
it is.
The levels, I found myself dying, especially early on, a lot because, like, I'd be looking at shit that wasn't a threat and then getting hit needlessly and then, like, oh shit, I got to pay attention. But now I'm down a health point for the rest of this level because I was busy looking at whatever.
It got my attention with the early bosses, but as soon as I got to Cagney Carnation, I was hooked and I was done. Just the way in the music, we haven't talked about the music by Christopher Mardigan, full jazz ensemble, 1930s. Talk about a dream project. Like, we're doing a video game, but you get to make all the music, big, flashy, old style. We're giving you a full, like, band to do the singing when there is singing that comes in. There's in the second island, there's 3 people of a barbershop quartet that look sad. If you find the missing member, they'll sing you a song about how it's good to play games but take a break. You're probably frustrated right now, which is really great.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that really, like, it's strange. The style is for a nostalgia that nobody alive can have.
Unless, not originally, but...
Not originally, no. But, I mean, like, people could have seen, like, classic cartoons, but this is made for animation freaks, essentially. A lot of it is technically problematic. If you really dive into the history of the style of animation. Let's just say the devil looks a little Jewish.
Okay, I see what you're saying,
and it's based off of old Jewish stereotypes and cartoons.
And I've heard there's other
there's a lot more
racial stereotypes that are of the time.
And understanding it, I actually give it a pass in this sense because it's a different context, and they're not actually portraying these things as those specific races or those specific things. But there's a lot of like blackfacey type stuff in it. I'm like, oh, I know what that is because I'm very versed within this. But for the most part, kids or anyone who's younger than me who doesn't know it, they're not going to understand any of this. So it's almost just like, oh, it's just a character with a fun nose.
That's right. Yeah. Well, it's pulling from even like the racism in old Disney flicks, right?
Yeah.
Like same idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's many easy bosses, very easy game to beat. Never had any issues at all.
Yeah, the carrot,
half hour done.
The carrot was really easy. I'm really mad that I wasted that wish.
Oh man,
on him.
Oh man,
I didn't even realize there was a wish. So guess what I'm going to use? I'll use it for something a little bit better though.
Yeah. Anyone play the DLC?
I haven't gotten to it yet.
I haven't beaten it yet.
I mistakenly did it
when you beat it. Apparently.
Oh, really?
I didn't really play it, but I got in the boat because I remember, hey, we never used the boat when I played this 2 years ago. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, DLC. Don't want spoilers. Head back to the main island.
Mm-hmm.
But I've only heard good things about the DLC.
The DLC is called Delicious Last Course, which is DLC.
Oh, look at that. That's crafty.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
Introduces a new character. We didn't really talk about how the game moves. You have a regular attack. You have a special attack. You have parries. They shoot pink things at you, and you'll have to jump and like time like another jump on top of the pink thing to get more special attacks. And you can change your guns and all this. But Miss Chalice plays completely differently. She comes with a double jump. She dashes into the pink things. If you can dash from far away. If you dash into the pink thing, it instantly parries. She's much easier to play with. And a lot of new bosses. Something I appreciate that they did was not rush. This Cuphead came out in 2017. They were slowly working on stuff, and they said, this will come out when it comes out because we're hand-drawing animation. Mm-hmm. It's crazy that they've only worked on one game since like 2010.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good though. I mean, apparently they've made back their money and then some to an insane degree. Everything they put into it was worth it. I love when I see like an artistic success story like this. And especially when we talk about indie games, like I think the important thing to think about in indie games is these are people putting their lives on the line.
And a small team, which is great. They also were able to make a lot of interesting products out of Cuphead. Mm-hmm. I have the dice rolling game, the fast rolling dice game, which is very fun. Each boss deck, we won't talk about it too much, but like this is just boss deck 3, and so this is Grim Matchstick, and you wind up like having to roll certain dices when you fight them, certain die, and you can play it multiplayer, and it's cool. And if you've played the game, it's very difficult, and then I cheat every time I play this game. They also have a TV show on Netflix, and the show is great. I think that's one of the ways they've been able to prolong development time is that.
Well, that only came out 6 or 7 months ago.
But still, I mean, it was something that's been happening and they got paid for, and it allows them more time to make the game the way they want to.
Yeah, how many other indie games out there have a dedicated board game, a dedicated TV show, and every other thing they've sold the IP on, right? Like, I think it's great for the developers.
Kentucky Route Zero would make a bad board game.
It is interesting that...
There should be more products for it because I'd buy them all.
It is interesting that on the last episode, or the last Dogcast I was on, we talked about Hades, obviously, and in that episode we talked about how it would be cool if Hades had a Netflix series or, was an actual show.
I could see a good anime.
And then look at Cuphead, like they got their own Saturday morning cartoon sort of thing. I like that indie games are able to do this, that you can kind of create a world and live in it through multiple different ways. Like we got the video game, we got the board game, we got the TV show. Who knows what else they might end up coming out with.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit for them.
Well, I think the main thing here is that they're probably going to stick with their team, and it's going to be a long time till we see anything new from them.
But that's good, though, right?
I think they might actually expand. I think that's probably more than likely. I think Microsoft is willing to throw money at them, and it's going to be a lot of money.
But what do they do? What do they do next? I mean, they can't just do they just do another animation
They're
thing?
not going to do another Cuphead.
They could do another hand-drawn animation, but a different style of game.
Cuphead 2, Back in the Habit. Done.
I think the main issue is probably that they're going to take a break for a while.
Cuphead 2 refill.
If I made a masterpiece like this,
That'd be safe. People would buy Cuphead too.
I don't think they will.
They'd have to do it with a different animation style.
Yeah,
But also, I don't know if they. I don't know. That's the big question. If they moved it,
nothing's going to look this good though.
well, they could do it with a different animation style. Like, what if they moved it into like I don't know, early Japanese anime, and they had a whole different sound to it and everything. But
I mean, maybe, but I don't think. I think they'll be done with it. I think they've fished all their ideas out of this.
I trust their sensibility, though.
I do.
And whatever they do decide to do next, I would be curious to play.
I'm going back home to Canada in September for a couple weeks, so I'll let the developers know.
You'll go next door.
Let them know exactly what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dylan, you've beaten the game, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's very hard.
I found King Dice to be more difficult than the Devil.
King Dice is way more difficult.
Imagine one boss that has actually 9 mini bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was angry. I almost broke my Joy-Cons because I, like a champion, played on Joy-Cons.
Champion doesn't mean what I think you think it means.
I made it harder for myself, so I'm giving myself props. I could have used an actual D-pad.
Well, I remember Tom mentioning one time he played Cuphead while walking on the treadmill.
Oh, what?
Oh.
And I was like, why? Why would you do that?
I remember my pet sweating.
That sounds even more difficult.
I just remember being like, what? Okay.
Now I'm angry and sweaty. That doesn't sound good.
I'm excited to play the new stuff in this.
You saw some of it today.
I had to re-download everything at one point onto my new game card. I got like a 2 terabyte SD card, so I could have actually all my games from the Switch, which I have a ton of, and put them on the same card. And I just didn't transfer anything over properly. And I'm like, a lot of these games I've played through. Whatever. If I want to play them again, I would have started over anyway.
Yeah.
I don't care about save data. I'm one of those people. Like, if I'm going to play through something again, I'm going to do it.
Cuphead, absolutely.
It's easy peasy. Like, it's not going to kill me. I can get A grade, A+ grades on those early bosses like that. I don't even have to think about it.
But if I was 15 hours into Hollow Knight and I lost my save, I wouldn't start over.
I know. Hollow Knight's a game I probably will end up playing once every 3 years.
I will say the DLC bosses, not as difficult.
No.
Maybe it's just because I already know the vernacular. I know what I'm doing. I know the verbs. But I enjoyed every moment of the Delicious Last Course. It seemed not long.
Encore?
Yeah, it didn't seem like a full DLC, but it was also cheap.
How much was it?
I think about half the price of it.
I think it was like $10.
I paid
$8.
I just got the package deal.
For like $1 a boss, killer deal. And there's more than 8 bosses. Mm-hmm. There's a secret boss that is a little obtuse in how you find them, but even that wasn't too difficult. But it was beautiful. I loved all of the animation in it. Mm-hmm. I love this game. This is
you own a lot of products of it.
Well, the board game was a gift for Christmas. I have the Art of Cuphead. This book is fantastic.
Yeah, that's cool. I've flipped through it.
And of course I have the vinyl soundtrack. This is also the only Funko Pop I own.
Which is actually barely a Funko Pop.
Yeah.
I only got it because I didn't know it was a Funko Pop. It was like $10 at a game convention. It's just literally what the devil looks like.
Yeah, he's cool as shit.
But
I
that's
almost
cool.
considered buying that one too until
Yeah.
you snagged it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because I like the devil.
I also have the Arby's Papercraft Cagney Carnation, but it's broke at the moment because it's Papercraft. And it's an Arby's fucking Happy Meal. You know what's really awkward is going through the Arby's drive-thru and be like, what Cuphead toys do you have? I want 3 Happy Meals.
Yeah, but sir, what do you want to eat?
Roast beef? I don't know.
It doesn't really matter.
I hear you guys have the beef. Just give me some of that.
Yeah. I want 3 Mugmans and a Cuphead. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak highly enough about this game. This is like when we talk about indie games in general, like this is kind of the pinnacle of what a lot of AAA games and these over-budgeted games tend to lose in kind of the crossfire. They don't understand that sometimes people just want a pure experience. And they just want the thing, and they want it exactly as it is, and they don't want to pay extra. They don't need live services. Just give us something that we can chew on for a while. And I think, I don't know, clearly indie developers are the ones respecting our intelligence.
It's a pure video game.
Yeah.
And it doesn't insult your intelligence.
No.
The fact that Microsoft got so attached to it when they saw it.
Microsoft is doing everything right this generation.
That's a compliment to them for sure. And
they course corrected real hard last gen. I think they're supporting a lot more of this.
They're working
stuff.
for the gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on Cuphead, Jamie?
You want which character would you like to kiss the most?
No, that's not what we're asking, because we all know it's pork rind.
Yeah. Welcome. Nothing that I haven't already said. You know, it's hard, but it's doable, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't deter you to the point of fuck you, delete the game, and walk away, right?
Yeah.
It's doable. You put the time in, you learn the timings, and it's all good. Looks great.
My favorite thing that's happened in games for myself in the past 3 years is tough but fair, challenging but rewarding.
Yeah.
And that's not something that I really grasped until I played Bloodborne. Yeah. And now I've got to the point where I'm like,
you prefer it.
I prefer it, and I like the challenge as long as I feel like respected, and it's a fair challenge. Yep. If I know the parameters and it's up to me to be good, just like Tyler can't even beat a carrot, and I know it's just because he sucks.
No, I beat the carrot. I just wasted the genie wish on it.
I'm just messing with you. You beat Hades. You're doing good.
I think that's the thing.
I'm doing very solid.
I'm very excited because I went through the same thing when I started podcasting, where I was like, it's fun playing video games, and it's fun playing games that you don't expect. Dylan makes me play a lot of games that I don't want to play, and they're usually always great.
Yeah, no, that's been the best thing about being on the Dogcast so far, because I don't know if I ever would have picked up Hades, because it doesn't seem like my type of game. And I cannot praise that game enough. And then having Cuphead follow it, I'm like, man, Cuphead's not going to get a fair shake.
That's the thing.
But it did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Even there are even games where I know I like the game that I'm playing, but I'm like, I just can't do this right now. I'm done for a minute. I got to take a break. Cuphead is one of those games where I'm like, I just need to take a step back. I'm going to play something else. I'll play Kirby in the Forgotten Land.
That's what I did with Far Cry 5. It's like I need a break. Yeah. Getting frustrated. You run and gun. You blow up some stuff, and then you come back. Nice. Just beat it. Okay. Move on to the next boss.
Mm-hmm. After Hollow Knight, I'm going to take a break from serious gaming. No. Maybe I'll play Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Play The Quarry. You barely got to play it.
True. I should plan I have a wedding in 3 months. I should do some of that game. I need to make some achievements happen there.
I have a wedding I have to go to in 3 months. I should get prepared.
Cuphead's cool.
Yeah.
Who do you play as more?
Cuphead the first round, Mugman the second, and Miss Chalice's easy mode.
I'm doing the same thing.
Plushie's hottie mode, am I right?
Damn, I've seen a lot of Rule 34 of her. I don't know how.
It just keeps happening. I don't know how to find it.
It does actually just keep happening. I don't know, man. I still go on 4chan every month.
Here, the Dogcast exists because of people like you. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions or thoughts about this episode, or Cuphead, or Mugman, or anything at all, you can reach out to us on Instagram at Hair the Dogcast, on Twitter at Hot Dogcast, and email us at hairthedogcast@gmail.com. If you want access to bonus episodes, our after show, and an exclusive podcast called Popcorn Dogs, where we talk about movies and television, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/hairthedogcast. A little support goes a long way, and there's a lot of really great content, so we highly recommend checking that out. Our executive producers are Ryan Christianick, Tyler Keller, Kip the Cuphead, Brian Ward, and Katie Bone. Thank you for your executive support.
Thank you.
And part of the HyperX Podcast Network. Check out all the other amazing shows. For more information, check out podcast.hyperx.com. We are back next week to discuss Hollow Knight, which, if you remember from last year's Indie Game Month, is the Dogcast #1 indie game of all time. We had everyone that's related to the show send in their top picks, and Hollow Knight, by a pretty big margin, won everyone's favorite indie game.
Really?
Yep. And it's very good. It's not my favorite. But it's fucking awesome. And I mean, I get it. It's the Dark Souls of Metroidvanias. I get it. I see what you're doing.
I'm partial, but
elevators, hard bosses. I get it. I see what you're doing here. But we'll talk about that next week. One for the road. Does anyone have any recommendations they want to make before we skedaddle?
Shoot.
Even I know this is coming and I don't have anything prepared.
The Quarry. I've played it twice now. It is a really fun game. It's really fun to play with people, specifically people that don't normally play games. It's very easy to pick up. It's not hard. Like, the quick time events are all very manageable and easy, even if you have, butterfingers or 2 left hands. Like, it's very accessible, and it's good to get a group of people together and play it, because that's what I'm doing right now, and we're having a blast.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'll give you 2. Movie-wise, Everything...
Everywhere All at Once. I just saw it last night.
Fantastic movie.
It's a good movie.
Gotta see it. And
I did fall asleep, but I was so full.
Game-wise, still the most fun I've had with a game, and the most engrossed this year so far is Far Changing Tides. Indie game. Fantastic game.
Okay, I still have to get through it. I'm going to have to keep going. Okay, I mean, you keep selling me on this, and I'm going to have to give it a shot. I'm going to choose Black Science by Rick Remender. It's a very good comic book, maybe one of the best science fiction American comic books I've ever read, period. It's very emotional, highly intelligent in its storytelling, and the ending is catastrophically beautiful. Give it a shot. It's 9 volumes. It's not going on forever. So, yeah.
I'm going to recommend an Instagram account, favorite one of mine. It's called Demons Draw Dylan. It's an art account. Local artist. He does amazing line work. He does a lot of like really cool fantasy drawings, crazy drawings, obscure, weird, hungover demons sometimes.
Yeah, I hear he sucks.
I think he's great.
Oh, okay.
He's very critical of himself, though, and self-deprecating. No, check it out. It's great art, and you should see it.
Yeah, give it a shot.
And besides that...
thank you, Brad.
I highly recommend liking and subscribing to your favorite podcasts and writing reviews.
We could use them.
It doesn't hurt. I don't know how algorithms work.
Leave us 5 stars and then tell me how much you hate me. It's great.
If you have any, we shouldn't even say like reach out to us on Instagram or Twitter. Just go to Write Reviews and reach out to us there with a 5-star review.
Honestly, we'll read them. If you leave us nice reviews, we will read them on the air.
But we are going to be back shortly for our after show if you're a Patreon member called Doggies After Dark. After we use the bathroom and replenish our drinks. But thanks for tuning in. And if you like Cuphead, you're right. And if you don't, get good. I guess.
Or just watch a playthrough. There's something valuable to, and I've been learning this as I go along. There is something where you can get a lot of the experience from watching, which is fine. I actually find that to be a perfectly valid way to consume games.
I think with a game like this, it brings a different level to it.
Some people can literally not do it.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but you can actually see the whole game instead of fuck.
One last thing. I remember there was a reviewer who reviewed the original Cuphead.
And couldn't get past the tutorial.
He couldn't get past the tutorial.
Yes.
And people were just watching his review and ripping into him because he didn't know how to jump and dash. And he sat there for like 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
There's one place through I saw this guy wasted a genie on the Root Brothers.
Yeah. Oh no, that sounds horrible. Who would do that? The carrot's easy.
I don't know.
We'll be seeing you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye. As a fan of podcasts, you've probably thought about starting one of your own. Introducing the new HyperX Duocast. The Duocast has all the essential features an aspiring podcaster would want from a USB mic with HyperX favorites like tap to mute and a vibrant mute indicator. It's compact and elegantly styled, perfect for situations where you want a mic that looks great, but isn't too extra. Check out the new HyperX Duocast, available at Target.com or shipped direct at HyperX.com.